What if I told you that a single $5 trillion project could one day supply power to half the world, all from deserts stretching thousands of kilometers from Morocco to China? This is the vision of the global solar belt, a massive network of desert solar farms designed to harvest the planet's most abundant and untapped energy resource, sunlight. The plan is staggering in scale, with hundreds of gigawatts of solar capacity generating electricity for billions, while connected via smart grids and high-voltage transmission lines that span continents. The ambition behind this project is mind-blowing. Imagine deserts in North Africa, the Middle East, and Central Asia transformed into a continuous web of solar farms, each feeding into a global network capable of powering cities, industries, and transportation across multiple continents. But questions loom large. How will such an enormous solar belt actually work? Who is funding a project with a $5 trillion price tag? And could this be the backbone of a global renewable energy revolution? Or is it simply too massive to succeed? The answers lie at the intersection of engineering, geopolitics, and innovation on a planetary scale. The need for a project like the solar belt is urgent. The world faces a growing energy crisis driven by rising electricity demand, dwindling fossil fuel reserves, and the urgent threat of climate change. Traditional energy sources are no longer enough to sustain global industrial growth while keeping carbon emissions in check. Deserts, often seen as barren wastelands, offer an ideal solution. They receive endless sunlight year-round, making them perfect locations for utility-scale solar farms that can generate clean, renewable power efficiently. The proposed solar belt would span from the Sahara Desert in Morocco, cross the Middle East, and extend all the way to China and Central Asia, creating a continuous chain of solar energy production. The vision is not just to power local regions, but to export electricity across borders, feeding entire continents with clean energy. By connecting multiple countries through high-voltage supergrids, this project could fundamentally shift how energy is produced, stored, and consumed worldwide. In doing so, it represents a new era of mega renewable infrastructure, one that could redefine global geopolitics, reduce dependency on fossil fuels, and provide billions of people with sustainable electricity for the first time. The global solar belt is more than a collection of solar panels. It's a highly integrated energy network designed to generate, store, and transmit electricity across thousands of kilometers. Each desert solar farm will convert sunlight into electricity using state-of-the-art photovoltaic cells and concentrated solar power systems, capable of generating hundreds of gigawatts of energy. To overcome the challenge of intermittent sunlight, these farms will integrate massive energy storage solutions, including advanced battery systems and, in some regions, pumped hydro storage, ensuring that electricity is available even when the sun isn't shining. One of the most critical components of the solar belt is its ultra-high voltage, UHV transmission lines, which can transport electricity across continents with minimal loss. These grids will link solar farms in Morocco, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Iran, and Central Asia with major energy-consuming regions in Europe and Asia. Smart grid technology will manage electricity flow, automatically distributing power where it is needed most and preventing overloads. The project also relies heavily on international collaboration. Countries along the solar belt must coordinate on regulations, energy trade agreements, and grid security. By connecting deserts across multiple nations, the solar belt not only generates electricity, but also establishes a shared energy infrastructure that could foster economic and political cooperation on a regional and global scale. If successful, this system could produce enough electricity to power billions of people, transforming deserts into the planet's most powerful source of clean energy. A project of this scale, the $5 trillion solar belt, requires funding that surpasses anything previously attempted in the energy sector. Governments, private investors, and multinational corporations are all expected to contribute to the investment, with sovereign wealth funds, international development banks, and global energy companies playing a central role. Countries like Morocco, Saudi Arabia, China, and the United Arab Emirates have already invested heavily in national solar initiatives, and the solar belt represents a coordinated effort to scale these projects into a continent-spanning network. The cost isn't just for solar panels. It covers high-voltage transmission infrastructure, energy storage systems, smart grid technology, and the logistics of building and maintaining facilities in remote desert regions. Global collaboration is critical not only for funding, but also for operation. Electricity produced in North Africa, for example, must flow seamlessly to Europe and Asia, requiring agreements on cross-border energy trade, regulatory standards, and cybersecurity protocols for the massive supergrid. This is unprecedented. No energy project in history has combined engineering, politics, and finance on such a planetary scale. To succeed, nations will need to cooperate closely on legal frameworks, tariffs, and infrastructure sharing, turning energy production into an arena of both collaboration and diplomacy. Private sector innovation is another crucial factor. Advanced solar technology companies, grid operators, and energy storage developers are expected to provide the expertise, software, and hardware necessary to make the belt function reliably. Cutting-edge technologies such as AI-powered grid management, predictive maintenance, and automated energy storage optimization will ensure efficiency and minimize downtime. If implemented successfully, the solar belt would not only be the largest energy infrastructure project in human history, but also a model for global collaboration in solving the climate crisis. By combining public investment, private innovation, and cross-border cooperation, it could create a sustainable, integrated energy network that redefines how nations generate, share, and consume electricity. Building the $5 trillion solar belt is an engineering challenge on a scale never attempted before. The deserts chosen for the project, spanning the Sahara, Arabian, and Central Asian deserts, pose extreme environmental conditions. High temperatures, sandstorms, and shifting desert terrain create significant obstacles for both construction and long-term maintenance. Engineers must design solar panels and support structures that can withstand heat exceeding 50 degrees Celsius, abrasive sand, and high winds. Even the roads, transmission lines, and energy storage facilities must be engineered to survive these harsh conditions for decades. Logistics are equally daunting. Transporting massive quantities of solar panels, inverters, batteries, and other materials across remote desert regions requires an extensive network of supply chains, construction roads, and staging areas. Many solar farms will be located hundreds of kilometers from major cities or ports, making construction both expensive and time-consuming. Specialized vehicles, automated machinery, and drones may be used to assist in installation and maintenance, reducing human exposure to extreme heat. High-voltage transmission lines represent another engineering hurdle. The project requires ultra-high voltage UHV lines capable of sending electricity across thousands of kilometers with minimal loss. These lines must traverse deserts, mountains, and politically complex regions, often requiring innovative solutions such as elevated pylons, underground cables, or hybrid designs to minimize environmental impact. Advanced smart grid technology is necessary to manage electricity flow, balancing supply and demand across multiple countries while preventing overloads or outages. Finally, sustainability is a major concern. Even though the project produces clean energy, its construction involves massive land use, water for panel cleaning, and the production of billions of solar cells. Engineers must develop eco-friendly building methods, water-efficient cleaning systems, and dust-resistant solar technologies to ensure the solar belt delivers maximum energy output with minimal environmental impact. The combination of remote locations, extreme climate, long-distance transmission, and global coordination makes the solar belt not just a construction project, but a monumental engineering achievement for the 21st century. If the solar belt succeeds, its impact could be revolutionary on a global scale. First and foremost, it would provide clean, renewable electricity for billions of people, dramatically reducing dependence on fossil fuels. By replacing coal, natural gas, and oil-generated power, the project could cut carbon emissions by billions of tons annually, making a substantial contribution to fighting climate change. This is especially critical for rapidly industrializing regions in Asia and Africa, where energy demand is growing faster than conventional sources can keep up. Beyond environmental benefits, the solar belt could stabilize global energy markets. By supplying cheap, abundant electricity across borders, countries would be less vulnerable to oil price fluctuations or energy shortages. This would help reduce energy poverty in underdeveloped regions while supporting industrial growth in energy-hungry economies. Economically, the project is expected to generate millions of jobs in construction, solar manufacturing, infrastructure development, maintenance, and energy management entire industries, ranging from robotics for automated solar panel cleaning to AI systems for smart grid optimization, could grow around the solar belt, fostering innovation and technology transfer across multiple continents. The solar belt has the potential to strengthen global cooperation. Countries participating in the project would need to coordinate energy trade, grid management, and regulatory frameworks. This collaboration could create a new model for international infrastructure projects, where nations work together to achieve shared economic, environmental, and social goals. In essence, the solar belt wouldn't just power cities, it could power a more sustainable and connected world. The $5 trillion solar belt is more than just a mega project. It's a bold vision for the future of energy on Earth. Stretching across deserts from Morocco to China, it has the potential to provide clean power for billions, reduce carbon emissions on a massive scale, and reshape the global energy landscape. But it's also a project of immense complexity, with enormous engineering, political, and financial challenges. Will the solar belt become the backbone of a renewable energy revolution, or will its staggering scale and logistical hurdles prove too ambitious to overcome? One thing is certain. If it succeeds, it will redefine what humanity can achieve with collaboration, technology, and vision. Comment below with your thoughts. Do you think this mega solar network can actually power the world? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on the most incredible mega projects shaping our planet.